and welcome back to Afternoon Tea with the Mothers for Better Media Management. I'm Mary Sue, this is Betty Jane, and here is Julianne.
Hello, darling.
Hi, everyone.
Okay, we're discussing the events that happened at the social media inquiry.
It's very interesting.
Yeah, last Tuesday it was. It was very interesting. There were a lot of interesting points raised by the groups in attendance.
There was.
Not as good as ours, though.
No.
Yeah, well,
I did like our flyer.
It was
Yeah.
very
It
pretty.
was a good flyer.
Well, I mean, I'm a little bit biased, but I do think our points were the most well thought out.
Well, ACMA had some great points. You know, I'm fully
they
for
did.
ACMA.
They did.
And they're doing a good job. They're doing a good job. But, you know, they've just got too much responsibility.
Yeah, I think
they really have.
They already are quite overextended, and I mean, taking care of broadcast and print media is already such a big responsibility. And I think it's safe to say that the online world is a much broader landscape than broadcast and print media. So
Even combined, those combined would not be as big as
So
the
I don't understand how, even if they brought on more staff, had more funding, how they would be able to, you know, extend their capacity to like moderate the online world. I just don't think.
I mean, what we need is a separate entity that's going to take care of
definitely. I thought.
I thought one of the major points is that they seem so keen to help out with social media, and but 5 years down the track, there's going to be something else that's having an inquiry, and they're going to jump on that bandwagon as well. So, and the poor social media regulations going to be left behind for someone else to do. It's just going to be forgotten.
I completely agree. It did not feel like a long-term solution.
Didn't seem sincere.
It didn't seem sincere, but then again, we are for what they're doing already.
Yeah,
they're doing a good job.
I thought that their ideas, they had like the right intention behind their ideas. I definitely thought, but I was actually surprised by the federal police proposing that they have a department within their organisation that would deal with like online crime and management of social media, which I thought again, that was brilliant, I thought, but I'm not sure if that is a long-term solution, like similar issues to the ACMA proposal.
And also, I mean, do we really want to give the police that much power? I mean, if they control everything, if they get to regulate everything without an input by a non-government body or an independent organisation, then, I mean, they can just do whatever they want.
That's true.
Yeah,
And
that is true.
also, where's the money going to come from for this? You know?
Yeah.
Out of our pockets?
Taxpayers, yeah,
Taxpayers' money.
definitely.
Mr. Betty Jane's pocket? I don't think so.
That's right. He wouldn't be happy.
No, I don't think he would. I know what he's like.
He's very tight.
But I do think that the police have the right idea. I mean, when they had that raid where they had the 21 warrants and they went and seized all the material from those horrid people that produced that euthanasia website. They went into the premises, the businesses, and seized the hard drives and all the paraphernalia that went into building that horrid website. And I think to deal with people like that, that is the only way to go about it.
We could just talk about that for days. I mean, that was just terrible. And those documentary makers, even they brought forward this stunning pictures of this interview with a guy who was considering committing suicide.
That was confronting.
It was very confronting, but I think very necessary for this to actually stay in the media's attention and for this to move somewhere, to move forward. And what outraged me, do those WW web warriors, those hippie
warriors.
But they were saying that, he could have made an informed decision. But when everyone's commenting and hounding you and saying, do this, and you have... Who's going to look up an anti-euthanasia website? Oh, just double check.
The problem with them is that they're young, they're idealists, and they just don't understand the way life works. I mean, when they gain a little bit of maturity, they'll understand that we can't just have our media be so loosely regulated. It's just like, I mean... We can't just leave dangerous material up there, for children to look at. So
we've seen what's happened with free love and all that stuff in the 70s when we were youngins, and that didn't go anywhere.
Talk about that.
But we've grown up and we've realised that was pretty stupid in some cases.
But I mean, okay, that man who was looking at that website and killed himself, yes, he was an adult, but what would it be the same that we would allow like a 13-year-old free choice in that situation? Would it be all right if a 13-year-old came across that site and thought, oh, well, everyone's telling me to kill myself, I better just go and do it?
Juliana, can you imagine if one of your daughters... Oh, I can't even go.
It's
a horrible thought.
It's disgraceful.
And, you know, that's why we're here, because someone has got to think of the children, ladies and gentlemen.
No, someone does.
And who better than mothers, honestly?
That's right.
Yet. They're just not yet kind of savvy enough with the ways of the world to really understand what they're proposing.
And the implications of what they're proposing as well. I mean...
Too young.
You know, they're all for, you know, banning criminal activity, but from that criminal activity stems all this other stuff that frankly should be made illegal as well.
Yeah, and where do you draw the line? So what is their definition of criminal activity?
I think they're saying that what's already illegal, so what's already banned on the internet, basically, and what's already monitored and policed on the internet should just stay the way it is. But with all these new social media is so diverse and you just can't control it unless you put your foot down and say, this is where we draw the line, rather than going, it's social media, it's everyone's saying.
But you know who else I thought had a really, really good point was Zen Media, you know, being an industry body that is going to work within, like, you know, Australian media and, like, you know, from the media to moderate the media. I thought they had, like, a I thought it was very well thought out. However...
the only problem, of course, is that, you know, that's just Australian content.
Yeah, exactly.
That's right. And, you know, we have the ability to access content from all over the world. So what happens
The internet isn't just Australian.
That's right.
What do we do about content, like inappropriate, you know, and lascivious content that's coming from, you know, overseas? Are they going to take care of that as well?
That is the problem with Zen. It's just too local. It's too local.
Yeah, definitely.
I think that's worked a lot with, like, you know, the journalism code of ethics and you know, self-regulating the broadcast and print media. I think it works because they're accountable. You can see the actions and you can see the results of their regulation. But on the internet, it's not going to make a dent at all, really.
And can I just bring our attention around to the ISP, the IINet people?
God, when they were up there.
Their attitude, they have serious attitude issues.
Serious.
Really. I mean, what they said about, we're a powerful, you know, like, we have all this power. It's not up to us to make moral decisions.
The we're too busy approach.
Yeah.
We don't have time to monitor what people are doing with our ISP addresses. I would grouge them. If they were my children, they would be smacked on the butt with a wooden spoon and sent to their room for 2 weeks.
Quite rightly. But it's because of their position of power that they should be making these sorts of judgments. With power comes responsibility. You can't just ignore the fact that you're in this position.
I mean, just for a second, I'd like to put our thoughts out to the bosses that came up and had a talk.
So
as
brave.
well.
Yeah,
so brave. And I just think that we should give them a mention.
Yeah.
Because they're just...
Props to you.
Yeah, and for coming as well after all they've been through and talking to us. I mean, it's just terrible what
having
happened
their
to them.
families
Welcome
attacked,
to a Sunday roast at my house anytime.
Yeah, that's
I'll
right.
make you a
That's
lasagna,
right.
pop it in your freezer.
Oh, you're so sweet.
Yeah, so
sweet.
caring of
Anyone
you.
would
You're
do it.
so generous.
Anyone would do it.
Yeah.
I think people think what's on the internet is going to stay on the internet, but this just shows the repercussions they're real. They're in real life.
Yeah, they are. Yeah, well, I think maybe, like, I mean, obviously I'm biased, but I did think that we probably presented the most well thought out case.
And realistic. I mean, yes.
In today's world.
It's going to be maybe a little bit of a tax, maybe a little bit higher taxes to pay for these things, but it's really needed. And it's better than paying taxes for, you know, something else that's not going to make a difference to anybody.
Yeah, so I do think we need an entirely separate body that's just going to go online, and if we can get it, another separate one that will monitor social media and user-generated content.
It's maybe some classes for parents,
Yes.
you know, because we're the people that, you know, it really comes down to protect our children, and there's parents out there, I have friends that have no idea what to do, don't even know where to start, so maybe some, I don't know, better information or classes for parents or something like that would be very beneficial.
Exactly. Well, yeah, that was very interesting. And stay tuned because after the break, we'll have a little bit more about the inquiry.
And we'll also have a great casserole recipe using 5 ingredients that are going to be in your pantry, guaranteed.
Aw. And for all you origami experts, Jenna Price is going to be in the studio folding swans for us later.
Okay,
So
see you later.
stay tuned.
Stay tuned. Bye.